Is Foundation the new golden standard for sci-fi TV, or just another confusing space epic? After 2 seasons, I've got some thoughts to share. First, if you don't know what Foundation is, let me give you a quick plot summary, and after that, I will give you a spoiler review. After solving a complex mathematical problem, a young apprentice arrives on the Empire's capital world and joins a group of exiles scattered across planets. Together, they embark on a monumental journey to save humanity and rebuild civilization amid the decline of the Galactic Empire. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you've heard me talk about Foundation, because to me, when I first saw it, it was truly striking. It was the first TV show in a while, back when I first saw season 1, that was so captivating I couldn't stop looking at it. It's the exact opposite of what you see nowadays on Netflix, for instance, in which even if you play with your phone or something, you don't really miss much. And this is the opposite. You need to savor every single moment because it's stunning. So, safe to say, I recommend it. And now let's talk about Foundation with spoilers. I can relate to Gail, the protagonist, because she looks like me, or I look like her. Not in the source material, even though I haven't read the books. I heard others discuss the books versus the TV show, and I know that they changed the protagonist as well. But here, given who they chose as actress for this role, it's one of the very few times in which I see someone who has, I don't know, the exact forehead that I have, or who reminds me of a cousin or something. She feels familiar to me, and that's nice. Even though, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but she is a bit annoying, and maybe it gets worse towards the second season. But at first, I was happy to see her. And maybe this is why I also wish the first part was longer before getting to Terminus, because I did feel just like Gail, confused and frustrated by the time jumps. Even though you can assume that at some point they will have time jumps, as soon as you know that this is an epic sci-fi that really spans through centuries. But personally, I need more time to connect with the characters. But if the actor is different in the following episode, simply because years have passed in the story, I struggle to even recognize them and to keep track of their personal story, because this happens to multiple characters, of course. And even though I get why they had to do it, I really needed a little bit more time. My favorite plotline is one that, again, as I heard, was not even in the books, and it's Trantor and the Cleonic Dynasty. I don't know how common it is to call the person Empire instead of Emperor, but it was already a reason for me to enjoy it, because they used terminology in a slightly different way, or specific to Trantor or to this entire universe. And I mean, the genetic dynasty is a concept I've never seen in any sci-fi, or that I remember. Maybe someone in the 70s or something made a movie about this, but I missed it, if so. And now that I rewatched both seasons to prepare for season 3, I noticed for the first time that the brother who is about to die is called Brother Darkness, and I don't know for how long, I think very little, because the 3 who are in charge are called Brother Dawn, Brother Day, and Brother Dusk. And only when the new Brother Dawn is born, or can you say it's born? I don't know. Comes to existence. That's when Brother Dusk becomes Brother Darkness. But for a very little time, because there cannot be 4 of them at the same time. And the entire process or ritual behind the birth and death of Cleons is truly fascinating. To me, I don't know if it's boring to others, but this was certainly my favorite plotline. There's another plotline that involves the Cleons, but takes place on a different planet, and it's when Empire walks the Great Spiral. That plotline gave me so much anxiety. And probably I'm the only one having this problem, but this happens whenever I see a whole movie or just a scene set in the desert or a similar environment where you know that water is scarce. I cannot leave my apartment without a full water bottle, even when I'm just going grocery shopping, because I'm too anxious. I mean, what if I'm thirsty? What if I'm choking after eating something? What if, you know? And this is why I couldn't stand watching Dune, because this constant dread played a key role in my lack of enjoyment of Dune. Because this was the thought in the back of my mind in every single scene. Another reason why I never talk about Dune on this channel. But this plotline, despite the setting, was well developed. I loved seeing Demerzel fighting between her devotion towards the Cleons and her triple goddess. And we will talk about Demerzel again in a minute. But there's something that I noticed now I didn't notice before. So after watching videos made by people who read the books, in which in episode 9 of season 1, you hear Salvor's father say a line, "Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent." And yet they made Salvor quite belligerent. They even repeat this sentence a couple of times in the show, and it's important in the books as well, but making Salvor a feisty character, she's a warden here, sounds a little bit contradictory. So I don't really know why they kept the sentence in the TV show, since they didn't find a way to match these two characters of Salvor in both TV show and books. And this brings me to a plotline I couldn't care less about, and it's the one with the thespians and Anacreons. Maybe they weren't introduced decently at first in the show, or I couldn't connect with their story because I'm not familiar with the books. I don't know. But they felt disconnected from the other plotlines for me. And it's not about the distance, how far they are in the universe. I don't think that's the case. I guess I'm tired of the rebels trope, which is too close to Star Wars, for instance. And maybe since I haven't been enjoying Star Wars in a while, this played a role as well. I don't know, but I find it quite repetitive. And even though it's necessary to develop the rest of the story, I saw these characters or these rebels as soulless or too easy to play with. You know, at the end of season 1, when Harry appears and explains what they were meant to do or what they did, it felt like they were just cards that someone else was playing with, you know? My absolute favorite thing in Foundation is the visuals. In particular, the active chroma. I don't know, it's mesmerizing. And I loved how they rendered it in each scene, in the opening credits too, but these are always stunning in Apple TV shows. Once again, a detail I didn't focus on the first time around is that chroma activates as the observer approaches, which is brilliant. It makes sense. It's beautiful to see as well. And the fact that in season 2, chroma plays a role as well. And since we're here, let's talk about season 2. I think I preferred season 1 because in season 2 some really annoying characters are introduced, and also a plotline or two that maybe took too long or they were spread for too many episodes without really doing anything. So I didn't enjoy season 2 as much, and specifically the character Sareth is annoying, and this was the only actress that took me out of the story whenever she was on screen. But I also cannot stand Harry, and I guess they did it on purpose because he's this figure that over time also takes a different meaning, and at some point he's seen as a god or a prophet, you know. So I don't know if he simply doesn't care about the people as long as they play their role and the role that he decided for them, or if it's, I don't think it's the actor that annoys me. No, I think it's simply Harry Seldon. But I enjoyed the focus on memories, the fact that we are memories and that we value how people will remember us, but also the power of erasing memories and the limitations that come with a huge power. In the case of the Cleons, it's different from a regular kingdom or empire. And if you read the books, are the Mentalics part of the original plot? Because I was intrigued, even though they felt a little out of place, or like a jolly card, a bit too easy to solve a problem, for instance. Just like whenever you see something with a multiverse, they can play that card whenever they want, and they can substitute a character whenever, so the stakes are really low at that point. It felt a bit like that, compared to the other plot lines or the other characters and what they were able to do. So I wonder if this was part of the original story. Something else that I truly loved were the spacers. They looked eerie at first, but I was happy when I saw that in season 2 they had a bigger role to play. In particular, their ship. The home swarm was gorgeous, in my opinion. To be honest, most of the ships in Foundation are stunning, simply to look at. And as I said, let's talk about Demerzel, because she ended up being almost the best character in the entire show, because her background story was just the cherry on top. In every scene I saw her, I was trying to figure out how she would react or what she would do to protect Empire. And I wondered if there was any ethics guiding her, and in which way are these guidelines that she has to follow different from the rules robots are normally assigned in sci-fi. I'd love to know what you think of Demerzel. Well, the actress was so good as well, because I always believed that that was Demerzel, compared to some other actors that maybe didn't do their best job. But in this case, I was so intrigued by Demerzel. And of course, she is a controversial character as well. And there wouldn't be a Cleonic dynasty without her. So the more you know about her, the more you appreciate her, I believe. And I'm curious what we will see in season 3. No, I have not watched any trailers. I don't want to see any spoilers. I will patiently wait until the season slowly drops. I don't know, I guess it will be weekly. We will suffer for this. I know this TV show isn't universally loved for several reasons, and one of these is that it didn't really follow the original source. And that might be a pity if you read the books and you cared about the characters in the books. But if you think about Foundation as a TV show on its own, I still believe is good sci-fi, and I was engaged the entire time. I wanted to know more. I wanted to understand this entire universe. And more than anything, I wanted to learn about the Cleonic dynasty and the plotline on Trantor. And I wish we had more time with Raych. I still assume we will see him at some point, I don't know, reappearing in memories or something like that. But I was shocked when they decided to just remove him. But overall, I still hope we will get more of Foundation and that they will keep the quality high, even though season 2 wasn't the best between the two that we got so far. Let me know your thoughts. And now that you watched this, check out the video on the screen. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss my upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.